Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a Christmas Tyrannomon deck profile for you guys. So it's a really fun deck. Not like the most competitive or anything, but if you're a fan of Tyrannomon, and if you want to pull off some shenanigans against your opponent, I think this is a pretty cool deck. Got some new support out of EX1. So we've got this card is really amazing. So this Tyrannomon is a red-green Digimon, so you can evolve on top of a red or a green, and then he also is treated as a green and a red, during your turn. And then when Digivolving, if you don't have a Taiga in play, you can just play one from your hand for free. So it's got like that BT5 Kurisarimon effect, and then also gives plus 2,000 to a Tyrannomon. So this is really nice. For those of you who don't know, because this is a kind of old card at this point, Rust Tyrannomon was a boss monster from, I believe it was 1.0, where this guy is, I think, the first card that actually allowed you to attack unsuspended Digimon. So he's the original Judgment of the Blade, right? But you basically just have to have a green tamer now. This deck has always been like kind of slow. One, because you have to have a tamer on field, and then like you have to bring him out, and then like you can attack into your opponent's unsuspended Digimon, but he's only 11,000. So there's been a lot of like issues with this, but if you can get off, he's really cool. Can kind of play control, he can kind of play aggro, and then when he deletes one of your opponent's Digimon, battles survive, you suspend something else. So kind of the combo there is to like, if you bring out this guy and you got a green tamer in play, like Taiga, for example, Taiga gives all your Tyrannomons piercing. So then if you got Taiga on field, you can attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. Then you get piercing, so you get a security check as well. And then you get to suspend something with Rust Tyrannomon. And then if you, for example, had like the Metal Tyrannomon underneath, where if you delete a level 6 or higher, you get to unsuspend. And then you can just like attack the dude you just suspended, or whatever, right? So there's some kind of cool synergy there. But the deck is just like kind of slow. But like I said, it's more of a fun deck than anything. So let's go ahead and just kind of talk about the card choices. So for the lineup for the low levels, I kind of built this as a level, or like a green base, just to make it, I think, the most consistent, because you do need to, there's no dual color Rust Tyrannomon at the time of making this video, so you do need to have a green level 5 to Digivolve him, so kind of have to make it a green base. So then I just kind of included, your vanillas here for the Goblymon. Kokuamon, I think, is a kind of spicy tech. So this guy is a level 3 that costs 1 to evolve. However, he says while this Digimon is level 6 or higher, it gains security tech plus 1. So kind of the combo here is to just go into Rust Tyrannomon with this dude underneath. Maybe you got a Mega Kabuterimon as well. Then you can just kind of check like 3-4 security cards in one go. So the only downside, of course, is that he's a 1-cost, but because you're playing green, you have so much like management for your memory. I really don't think it's like super relevant anyways. Only 2 copies of him. And then Tyrannomon, of course, because memory boost cards are really insane in this format. So just having access to a memory choker, I think you basically have to play Tyrannomon in some capacity. So playing 2 copies of him. And then for the other level 3s, Tentomon for consistency, because this deck definitely needs the consistency. You need to be able to see your combo pieces. You need your tamers and your Tyrannomons and stuff like that. And so just having the on-play reveal top card of your deck, and if it's a green Digimon added to your hand, is pretty nice. So just being the Pulsemon for the deck. And then for the other level 3, I think Palmon is one of the best level 3s for any like green deck that revolves around like piercing or attacking over Digimon or anything. Because when you attack an opponent's Digimon, this Digimon gets plus 2,000 for the turn, right? So this makes Rust Tyrannomon 13,000. And even if like your opponent, like let's say your opponent like it has like some suspended lower level Digimon, and let's say you Digivolve into like one of your champions right here, so like 6,000, 4,000, 5,000, this makes all these guys able to run over like most level 4s, right? It puts Woodmon to 8,000, it puts Arbormon to 7k. Like that's a really significant boost for just like the stipulation is just you have to attack an opponent's Digimon. Right, so I think Palmon's really good in this sort of deck. And then if you combine that with the Digi-Egg here, which is Pinamon, once per turn, if you attack an opponent's Digimon, trigger draw 1. So the cool thing about this, it's not even like you have to destroy an opponent's Digimon. It's just like if you attack them, like if you declare an attack towards an opponent's Digimon, so like even if you're crashing or something, you just get to draw 1. So again, helping with the consistency, you just need more draw power in this deck. So I think this card is really nice for that. But yeah, so that's the lower levels. And then for the level 4s, so 3 copies of Woodmon. I don't think Kabuterimon is as playable right now, just because like Bao Huckmon is a card, and because 6,000 is just such a stronger threshold, especially having that 5 play cost as well. So in this deck, I guess you don't really want to evolve on top of the Woodmon. You really want to save your big stack for the Tyrannomon down here. So that play cost I think is pretty relevant. And then just 2 copies of the Searcher Tyrannomon. So when Digivolving, you get to reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, and then add 1 level 5 Digimon card and 1 green Tamer. So the cool thing about this card is that, well, first of all, it's not even color restricted on the Digimon you add. So if you saw, I am actually playing the red Tyrannomon here, because you can Digivolve him on top of the level 4 Tyrannomon here. So the this green Tyrannomon can search Metal Tyrannomon, as well as these other, like the green Metal Tyrannomon or Mega Copy Tyrannomon. So he can search both of those, which is really amazing. And then Green Tamer, again, isn't limited to Taiga like a lot of card effects are, usually like limited to their specific like canonical Tamer or whatever. But this one can add Taiga, or it can add your copy of Mimi here. So that's really nice. And then 3 copies of Arbormon. This is your hybrid finisher for the deck. This is really nice, especially because I am playing so many green Tamers, right? You're playing 5 green Tamers in this deck, and we'll get to why exactly you're playing so many in a little bit, but having the ability now in set 6 to be able to just go on top of a Tamer and like attack for game is really nice. I was also debating playing Petaldragon, because having a 7,000 Piercer that you can just bring out without your opponent having expected it, I think is really actually relevant. So I might, throughout more testing, like play like a copy of, like, cut one of these for like a Petaldragon or something. You guys can let me know what you think of Petaldragon, but I think he's a really crazy card actually. And then for the other level 4s, just playing, like I said, 4 copies of Tyrannomon. This card does everything that this deck needs. Like, it gives you an attack boost, it helps you play Tamer for free, it works with dual colors. So this is just really nice in like all regards. Unfortunately, I don't think it's enough to like make the deck meta relevant, but it is a really cool card. Okay, this card's awesome. Alright, I can't say enough good things about this Tyrannomon. And then for the level 5s, just playing 3 copies of Metal Tyrannomon. The inherited effect is pretty cool. Not sure, like, it doesn't come up as much as you might think it does, honestly. But it is really cool, right? Being able to just run over, like, a Bellstar or, like, a Jesmon or something, and then unsuspend is just really insane. Also, he is only a 2 evolution cost, so at the very least, he's a cheap evolution. Green does have the, like, ability to run these cheap evolution cards with inherited effects, unlike any other color. So that is really nice. And then I would think, what I would say is the best green level 5 in the game currently is Mega Copy Tyrannomon. Okay, so when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle and survives, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. So it basically just gives you a free security check without having to like attack your opponent's security. So against Musketeers, against any form of security control, against Agumon, Gabumon, this card is like bonkers, okay? Being able to just trash the top, it's like a free Mastamon every single time you swing, and then especially because you've got Rust Tyrannomon, who can now, assuming you get the ideal setup, who can attack over unsuspended Digimon, so anytime your opponent commits anything to the field, you just swing over it and trash the top card of their security. Okay, and then of course if you got piercing as well, you're checking 2 cards with that interaction. So that's really nice. So Mega Copy Tyrannomon, amazing card. And then just 2 copies of the red Metal Tyrannomon here. Like I said, you can evolve him over Tyrannomon, so it's not necessarily completely dead in your hand. But even if you do just hard play it for 7, like, it's honestly not even that bad, because he is 10,000 DP. 10,000 DP is a very big threshold. Against any yellow deck, they basically have to like Valder Arm or like you know, like double War Groundmon Starmon or something crazy like that, right? So this is not dying against a yellow deck unless they have Wyvern's Breath, and unless they have like some other form of removal, like they basically need to use like a Gaia Force or anything else to get rid of this card, because if you do Digivolve it on top of a regular Tyrannomon, this is a 12,000 level 5. Right, so you just like bring this guy out, like play a Tiger or something, and then Digivolve into Metal Tyrannomon, and then you can just swing security early, which I think is really relevant this meta, and then just swing over opponent's Digimon. So being 12,000 is crazy for a level 5, or even just like 10,000 base is already huge. And then for the boss monster himself, of course, 4 copies of Rest Tyrannomon. This guy, really awesome card. Unfortunately, just not quite there, right? Just a little bit slow, but two really cool effects. Being able to attack unsuspended Digimon. If you have a green tamer, you can suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. So really cool utilization of his effects there. There's lots of cool interactions you can do. And then the one like Tech Ancient Troymon. So this card is honestly like kind of better than I expected. So during your opponent's turn, when one of your opponent's Digimon attacks, you can suspend up to 2 of their Digimon without blockers. So this card really slows down the pace of the game, which is what you need it to do, right? This deck is already slow. You need to be able to prevent your opponent from just like OTKing you, or like just being able to control their board and like run over their stuff next turn is really nice. So like if you're, let's say you've got this guy on field, your opponent attacks with a Jesmon, and then like they use all their one attacking effects, they unsuspend him with Savior Hookmon. Well, then now that all their one attacking effects have resolved, you can then trigger Ancient Troy to suspend the Jesmon so it can't attack again, and then suspend like something else. So it is actually a really cool card. And then not only that, but like let's say in that interaction you suspended the Jesmon and then they check the security and they hit a Terror Cluster, well then now you get free fodder for Terror Cluster, and then now you can put stuff back at the bottom of the deck. So Terror Cluster, really nice removal card, interacts with Ancient Troymon in a cool way, and then of course being able to play a level 4 or lower hybrid from your hand without paying the memory cost is relevant because you are playing so many Arbormons. So this is just a nice floating card against decks like Security Control. If they out this card, you just play a level 4 for free, so then it just puts extra pressure on your opponent. So I think Ancient Troymon is actually a really nice card. And then for the option cards and tamers, playing 2 copies of Terror Clusters. Now this card is notoriously like has not really ever been played in like a meta deck, but it is Rust Tyrannomon theme, so I thought I'd include it, and it does have a really nice removal effect. Basically, you just suspend, or you put one of your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of the deck. So it non-destroying effect is those types of effect. If you can combine them, this format are really insane. I mean, Kokai's Breath, of course, we've seen put in Musketeer decks because it's really good. So I don't know, maybe Musketeers, you got another really nice 7-cost option cards here, right? But so just bottom decking cards is really nice. A hidden potential discovered. I don't need to talk about how insane this card is. If this card was at 4, it might actually make this deck like somewhat decent, right? Because of how insane this card is, just being able to evolve for free is crazy. 2 copies of Green Memory Boost just to further help with consistency and gaining memory. Being able to Digivolve Rust Tyrannomon without passing turn is pretty nice. 2 copies of Mimi Tachikawa. Playing her for 4 is kind of sucks because you don't get like an on-play effect like Davis or anything. But of course, she's just a really insane tamer. Like later, when you do have a level 5 green Digimon, you can just suspend her, bring out Digi-Egg, or like a Digimon from your breeding area, or hatch a Digi-Egg. So it speeds up the deck, which is really, really nice, especially like I said, because this deck does take quite some time to get set up. You do need to like pick things up as quickly as possible. So Mimi definitely helps with that. And then lastly, we got 3 copies of Taiga here. So Taiga, during your turn, all of your Digimon with the Tyrannomon gain piercing, and then you also, when Digivolving into one of your Digimon with Tyrannomon, you can suspend Taiga to Digivolve that cost for reduced like Digivolution cost. So basically -1 on the cost. So it's got that Nokia effect as well. So Taiga, again, kind of helps with the deck because you need it for Rust Tyrannomon, getting piercing, and then also being able to just Digivolve all your Tyrannomons for like a lower cost, like your level 4s, your 5s, and your 6s. Just being able to manipulate that memory as much as possible is really, really nice. So guys, that is the profile. Let me know what you guys think of this list. Definitely any suggestions are more than welcome in the comment section below. I'm by no means a Tyrannomon expert, but I do really like the deck. It's just big metal dinosaurs. I mean, right, what can you say? What can you... how much cooler than that can you get, right? So anyways, guys, that is going to be the video. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.